In the world of Ninjago, one figure stands as a timeless beacon of wisdom and balance, Sensei Wu. From the dawn of Ninjago's creation to its most perilous battles, Wu's story spans centuries of lore. In this documentary-style journey, we'll explore everything you need to know about Sensei Wu, divided into 3 parts. First, we uncover Wu's past, from his legendary family origins and early trials to the founding of the ninja team. Next, we examine present-day Wu, seeing how he has evolved through recent seasons, his challenges, growth in philosophy, and the battles that tested his leadership and power. Finally, we venture into future theories, where we discuss hints from the creators about Wu's fate and fan theories about what lies ahead for the venerable sensei. Our story begins long ago, at the very inception of Ninjago. Sensei Wu was born the second son of the first Spinjitzu master, the primordial hero who created the land of Ninjago. Wu and his older brother, Garmadon, were raised and trained by their father in the ways of Spinjitzu, growing up at the monastery of Spinjitzu. From the start, the 2 brothers were a study in contrasts. Wu was taught to seek balance and wisdom, while Garmadon, though initially good at heart, carried a darkness within him. This darkness was no mere personality trait. As a child, Garmadon was bitten by the Great Devourer, an ancient evil serpent. The Devourer's venom, corrupt by design, began to infect Garmadon with evil. This event was orchestrated by the Overlord, the dark spirit of Ninjago, who intended to use Garmadon as a vessel for his own return. Despite the growing shadow in Garmadon's soul, Wu and his brother remained close for many years. Under their father's tutelage, they fought side by side to protect Ninjago from various threats, including participating in the Serpentine War. In this war, a great conflict between humans and the Serpentine, snake tribes, young Wu and Garmadon joined forces with the Elemental Masters to defend the land. They achieved victory by sealing the Serpentine away in underground tombs, bringing an era of peace to Ninjago. Throughout these early battles, Wu proved himself a skilled fighter and a principled leader. However, he also learned hard lessons about trust and responsibility. In one early encounter, a naive Wu befriended a serpentine sorceress named Asphira and taught her the art of Spinjitzu in return for her promise never to use it for evil. Asphira betrayed this promise, using Spinjitzu to overthrow King Mambo V and attempting to conquer Ninjago. Wu and Garmadon were forced to use the scrolls of forbidden Spinjitzu to defeat her. Asphira was subsequently imprisoned in a magical tomb. Wu's personal life was intertwined with his brothers in complicated ways. Both Wu and Garmadon loved the same woman, Misako. Wu wrote Misako a letter expressing his feelings, but their mutual acquaintance, Master Chen, intercepted the letter and manipulated events so that Garmadon signed it instead. Misako, believing Garmadon was the author, chose to marry him. This heartbreak was a bitter pill for Wu. Yet he harbored no resentment. He remained close to Misako as a friend, and later became a loving uncle to Lloyd, Garmadon, and Misako's son. Ultimately, the darkness within Garmadon grew overwhelming. After the first Spinjitzu master passed away, the fragile peace crumbled. Garmadon, increasingly corrupted by the Great Devourer's venom, sought power for himself. The tension between the brothers erupted into a climactic battle, often referred to in legend as the Battle Between Brothers. On that fateful day, Wu faced Garmadon in a duel for the ages. The object of their conflict was the 4 golden weapons of Spinjitzu, powerful relics their father had created. In a final dramatic confrontation, Wu defeated his brother. Drawing on all his skill and courage, Wu banished Garmadon to the underworld, stopping his rampage, at least for a time. With Garmadon's banishment, peace returned to Ninjago, but Wu was left with the heavy burden of having vanquished his own brother. He took it upon himself to hide the golden weapons in remote corners of the land to prevent further temptation. For about a decade, Ninjago was without major threats. Wu became a solitary guardian, watching over the realm his father had built. But destiny was about to call on him again. Sensing new evils on the horizon, Master Wu set out to form a team of protectors for Ninjago. He traveled the land in search of talented youth destined to become the ninja. In a series of now famous encounters, he found Kai, Cole, Jay, and Zane, ordinary teens with extraordinary elemental potential, and began training them in the ways of Spinjitzu. Wu was no longer a lone warrior. He became Sensei Wu, a mentor. Around this time, a prophecy spoke of a green ninja who would rise to save Ninjago, and Wu believed one of his students could be that champion. Under Wu's guidance, the ninja team forged a brotherhood and learned to work together. They would need every lesson Wu taught them, for soon they were thrown into battle against a very familiar foe. Master Wu's past came full circle when Lord Garmadon inevitably returned from the underworld, determined to conquer Ninjago. In the ninja's first adventures, Wu led them against Garmadon's schemes and his skeleton army. These early battles tested both teacher and students. Wu even faced his brother again, nearly sacrificing himself at one point. He was swallowed whole by the rampaging Great Devourer snake during a later serpentine conflict, only to survive that literal trial by fire. With Wu's steady mentorship, the ninja defeated the serpentine tribes that Garmadon had stirred up and ultimately confronted a threat greater than any before, the Overlord, an ancient embodiment of darkness. In a dramatic showdown, Wu's nephew Lloyd fulfilled the prophecy and defeated the Overlord, saving Ninjago. Wu had helped guide the team to this victorious moment. By the end of these early adventures, Sensei Wu's past had come full circle. He honored his father's legacy by maintaining balance in Ninjago and redeeming, in a way, the mistakes of the previous generation. He had transformed from a brash young warrior into a wise mentor who turned his painful past into teaching moments for his pupils. But as we'll see, Wu's story was far from over. In the modern day, Master Wu continues to be the cornerstone of the ninja team, but his role evolves as the team and the threats they face grow. The once youthful students are now seasoned heroes, and Wu himself faces personal trials that prove even a wise sensei must adapt and learn. Let's explore how Wu develops through the more recent seasons of the Ninjago saga, including key events that tested his philosophy, leadership, and power. After Lloyd's victory over the Overlord, a period of peace was short-lived. New dangers emerged, and Sensei Wu guided the ninja through each of them, sometimes fighting on the front lines himself. During the Nindroid Crisis, Season 3, the Overlord returned in a digital form, unleashing an army of robotic Nindroids. In this conflict, Wu was captured and corrupted, transformed into an evil cyborg version of himself under the Overlord's influence. It was a shocking moment. The ever-stoic Wu turned into a mechanical enemy against his will. Fortunately, once the digital Overlord was defeated by the ninja, thanks to Zane's sacrifice, Wu was purified and restored to normal. This ordeal showed that even Wu could be vulnerable to the very evils he fought, further humbling the sensei and reinforcing his resolve. Soon after, in Tournament of Elements, Season 4, Sensei Wu took a more active combat role. When the ninja journeyed to a mysterious island to find the missing Zane, Wu allied with the Elemental Masters, the descendants of his old comrades from the Serpentine War. They faced Master Chen, the same scheming Chen who once meddled in Wu's love life, who was now stirring up a new Serpentine conflict. Wu fought alongside his pupils and the Elemental Masters to stop Chen's Anacondrae cult. This culminated in what some call the Second Serpentine War, which ended when Garmadon heroically banished himself to the Cursed Realm to trap Chen's villainous forces. Wu witnessed his brother Garmadon make that selfless sacrifice, a poignant moment that in some ways atoned for Garmadon's past sins. But peace never lasts long in Ninjago. Moro, Wu's very first student from years ago, returned as a vengeful ghost in possession, Season 5. This was an intensely personal challenge for Wu. Long before Kai and the others, Wu had trained Moro as a boy, hoping Moro might be the prophesied green ninja. But Moro's arrogance led him to darkness when he realized he wasn't the chosen one. Now Moro escaped the Cursed Realm and sought to fulfill his own twisted destiny. Wu was racked with guilt for how Moro's life turned out, feeling that perhaps he had failed his student in the past. Keeping this secret weighed heavily on him, but he had to confront it openly now. With the ninja's help, Wu faced Moro. In a dramatic turn, Wu trained Nia, Kai's sister, to unlock her latent water powers, ironically taking on a new student in the middle of the crisis. Nia's water abilities proved to be the ultimate counter to Moro's reign of terror, allowing her to destroy Moro's master, the Preeminent, a gigantic cursed spirit. Moro was defeated, lamenting his choices, and thanked Wu in the end before vanishing, a bittersweet closure for Wu's first pupil. This experience taught Wu a valuable lesson in transparency and trust. He realized that keeping secrets from his students, like Moro's existence, can cause more harm than good. From here on, we see Wu strive to be more open with the ninja, albeit with a few relapses into secrecy, as is his habit. The whirlwind of adventures continued. In Skybound, Season 6, the evil Jin Natakan trapped Wu, along with others, inside a magic sword, leaving him literally out of the picture for much of that saga. That question was answered in the hands of time, Season 7. During the climactic battle against the Time Twins, Acronix and Crux, rogue elemental masters of time, Wu went head-to-head with these masters of chronology. In the final confrontation, Wu was struck by the forward time blade, a weapon that rapidly ages its target. In moments, the ageless mentor withered into an old man, even older and frailer than his normal self, with his beard growing to the floor. Though the ninja managed to use the reversal time blade to restore Wu's health and stop the aging, Wu chose to make the ultimate sacrifice to stop the villains. He grabbed onto the Time Twins as they opened a temporal vortex and was pulled into the time stream along with them, vanishing from the present. Master Wu was lost in time, gone. Before disappearing, he left his students with one last directive: they must carry on in his absence. This moment was a turning point. With Wu suddenly gone, Lloyd, now a young man and a formidable ninja, had to step up as the leader in Sensei Wu's place. The team vowed to find Wu, but in the meantime, they operated without their mentor for the first time. Master Master Wu's strange journey through time eventually brought him back, but not as anyone expected. In Sons of Garmadon, Season 8, the ninja finally found Wu as a baby. Yes, due to the time vortex and the reversal energy that healed him, Wu had de-aged instead of simply returning to his old self. The once wise old man was now an infant, affectionately dubbed Baby Wu, with no memories and a propensity to drool. The ninja effectively became his caretakers, turning the mentor-student relationship on its head. Baby Wu was briefly kidnapped by the Sons of Garmadon crime syndicate, but ninja member Cole rescued him from their clutches. Then, during Hunted, Season 9, as some of the ninja were trapped in a hostile realm of dragons and Oni, Wu's aging process unexpectedly sped up. Over the course of a few weeks, Baby Wu grew into a child, then a teenager, rapidly maturing as the temporal effects wore off. This adolescent Wu, though lacking full memory at first, gradually recalled his identity and wisdom. We saw flashes of his old personality return. In the first realm, Wu even donned armor and became a hero in his own right, reclaiming the mantle of Dragon Master by taming the firstborn dragon using the dragon armor. By the end of Season 9, Wu had finally regrown into his adult self, fully restored in mind and body. The ninja reunited with Wu back in Ninjago, just in time to face a final ancient threat. In the 4-episode event March of the Oni, Season 10, Wu stood with his family and pupils against the Oni, primordial creatures of darkness bent on destroying Ninjago. Here we saw Wu in a new light, not just as a mentor, but as a battlefield commander and collaborator with his once estranged brother. Wu and Lord Garmadon worked together, putting aside all past grievances. Wu's leadership was crucial in uniting the ninja, the elemental masters, and even former enemies to repel the Oni invasion. At the climax, Wu guided the ninja in creating the Tornado of Creation, a powerful joint spinjitzu move that wiped out the Oni threat in one swoop. Ninjago was saved again, and this time, there was a true sense of closure. After so many crises, one might think Sensei Wu could finally settle down for some well-earned rest. In fact, for a brief moment after the Oni attack, Wu considered a quieter life. He even opened a tea shop in Ninjago City. But destiny had other plans. The call to adventure came yet again. In Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, Season 11, Wu faced a different kind of challenge, impatience and frustration with his own students. With peace having made the ninja a bit complacent, Wu found himself losing his cool at their lack of focus. In a rare outburst, Wu shouted at the ninja for goofing off, something he had almost never done before. One might chalk it up to the stress he'd endured, or even a side effect of his recent de-aging and re-aging. But it was clear that Wu was on edge. The ninja, hurt by his scolding, ventured off on quests without him, and inadvertently unleashed a new threat, the ancient sorceress Asphira. Asphira sought revenge on the treacherous one who had locked her away, and that turned out to be Wu himself. Here, Wu had to reckon with another past mistake. He had never told the ninja about Asphira or the forbidden Spinjitzu scroll he'd hidden, so they were unprepared for her. Asphira attacked and stole Wu's elemental powers, using them to open a portal that flung Zane into the distant ice realm. Wu was left guilt-ridden, feeling that his secrecy caused this tragedy. In the aftermath, he humbly apologized to the ninja for not sharing the whole truth earlier. This arc was a humbling one. Wu realized that as much as he is the teacher, he can still learn from his pupils about honesty and teamwork. The ninja forgave their sensei, and together they managed to defeat Asphira in the end, with Wu taking on a more supportive role rather than leading from the front. In subsequent seasons, Wu became more of an advisor and elder statesman of the group, often standing back to let the younger ninja find their own way, though always ready with guidance or a timely rescue when needed. For example, in Prime Empire, Season 12, and Master of the Mountain, Season 13, Wu steps aside to let others lead. Lloyd, Nia, and the rest handle those adventures largely on their own, with Wu providing wisdom from the sidelines. In the Island Special, Wu joins an expedition and gets briefly captured, but is rescued, showing that even in his old age he can't resist accompanying the team on missions. By Seabound, Season 14, Wu's wisdom is crucial when Nia faces a life-altering choice to save Ninjago seas. Wu gently mentors her about accepting one's destiny, helping Nia find the strength to become one with the ocean to defeat the sea serpent Wajira. This sage advice underscores Wu's role as the spiritual guide for the team's personal struggles, not just the tactical fights. Most recently, in Crystallized, Season 15, Sensei Wu once again donned his battle robes when the Overlord resurfaced as the terrifying Crystal King. Although the ninja team had grown into young adults and even faced imprisonment due to a setup, Wu never lost faith in them. When the crisis hit with a legion of old enemies empowered by the Overlord's crystals, Wu took charge of a resistance, rallying citizens and ex-villains alike to defend Ninjago. He fought on the front lines against the Overlord's forces, even attempting to duel duel the Overlord himself at one point. While Wu was overpowered in that direct battle, he played a pivotal role in the final victory. Wu's leadership kept hope alive. He coordinated efforts to get Lloyd and the ninja the support they needed. Ultimately, the ninja defeated the Overlord, and Wu lived to see the day the biggest evil was vanquished. After the dust settled, Wu helped rebuild the destroyed monastery with everyone, reflecting on how far his students had come. Notably, by this time, Wu truly treated the ninja as equals. He even joked that perhaps they didn't need an old teacher watching over them so closely anymore. They had become masters in their own right. Through these recent seasons, Sensei Wu's philosophy showed subtle changes. He began as a strict keeper of secrets and destinies, but over time he learned to trust his pupils with knowledge and to admit his own shortcomings. His leadership style shifted from directing every step to allowing the ninja to take initiative, even if it meant stepping back or disagreeing with them at times. Wu's famous patience was tested, but ultimately it deepened. He became more accepting of the ninja forging their own paths. As for power level, make no mistake, even in old age, Wu is a formidable fighter. Time and again, he demonstrated that he could hold his own against much younger and stronger foes through sheer skill. In fact, Wu has defeated multiple trained ninja in sparring and single-handedly bested several enemies using crafty technique. And while Wu's elemental power of creation is more metaphysical than flashy, he can manifest a golden creation dragon when needed, underscoring his status as one of Ninjago's most powerful beings. However, Wu also shows restraint. He often opts for wisdom over brute force, preferring to guide the ninja to unlock their powers. This humility and confidence in others are what truly make him a sensei. Today, Master Wu stands as both a warrior and a sage, the living history of Ninjago. He has endured loss, transformation, and countless battles. Yet through it all, his core ideals remain steadfast: balance, faith, and the courage to do what is right. The present-day Wu is perhaps quieter and more contemplative, happy to let the younger generation shine. But whenever darkness falls upon Ninjago, you can be sure that Sensei Wu will be there, staff in hand, a reassuring smile on his face, ready with the wisdom or action needed to restore balance. With such a rich past and present, many fans wonder, what's next for Sensei Wu? Will the ageless mentor continue to guide future generations, or is his long journey coming to an end? In this final segment, we'll explore two angles on Wu's future: confirmed hints from the creators and recent canon that shed light on Wu's fate, and some fan theories, clearly labeled as speculation, that imagine what could happen next. The custodians of Ninjago's story, the writers and producers, have occasionally dropped hints about Sensei Wu's future. Recent developments in Ninjago's new saga, Dragon's Rising, actually give us substantial clues about Wu's ultimate fate. It appears that Master Wu's journey is reaching a transcendental climax. According to information from the latest episodes, Wu mysteriously went missing after a cataclysmic event known as the Merge, in which all the realms of Ninjago merged into one. The Merge was a cosmic event that has set up the new status quo in Dragon's Rising, and interestingly, it's implied that Wu had a hand in causing it. Yes, one of the biggest mysteries is that Sensei Wu somehow had a share of responsibility in triggering the merge of the realms. This suggests Wu might have done something drastic that resulted in all realms uniting. In the aftermath, Wu is missing and presumed gone by the characters. But that's not the end of Master Wu. In Dragon's Rising Season 2, it's revealed that Wu exists on a higher plane now. He reappears as a spirit-like figure who guides the new heroes in subtle ways. He helps the new generation of ninja by opening magical portals and imparting cryptic advice, much like a guardian ghost. At one crucial moment, Wu's spirit admits he was responsible for the merge and then disperses into 4 golden orbs of energy. This moment strongly hints that Wu has effectively ascended beyond mortal form, possibly sacrificing his physical body to unite the realms, and now existing as a protective spirit. To corroborate these developments, the show's creators had hinted even before Dragon's Rising that Wu might step aside to let the next generation lead. There was talk that Wu's absence would be explained by Lloyd in the new series. Indeed, Lloyd now mentors new ninja students in Wu's stead, effectively inheriting the title of master. In Dragon's Rising, Wu is spoken of reverently in past tense by the old ninja. It's a bittersweet but fitting development. After centuries of service, Master Wu has finally embarked on his last journey, transcending this mortal realm. So, officially, it seems the canon trajectory is that Sensei Wu has fulfilled his role and moved on. He ensured the balance of creation one last time by causing the merge. Now he guides the ninja as a benevolent spirit and then fades, leaving the future of Ninjago in the hands of those he trained. If this truly is the end for Wu in the series, it's a dignified send-off. He essentially becomes part of the very fabric of Ninjago's merged world. Naturally, the fandom has exploded with theories about Sensei Wu's fate, some of which anticipated the official story story, and others that imagine different possibilities. Here are a few popular fan theories about what could happen to Master Wu in the future. One long-standing fan theory posits that Wu's life force is cosmically linked to that of his brother Garmadon. Wu represents creation, and Garmadon represents destruction, two opposite forces. Some fans argue that if one brother were to die or transcend, the other might have to as well to maintain the balance. Fans supporting this theory point to how both brothers aged rapidly and unusually, and how the balance was restored only when they worked together, or both were out of the picture. With Wu now effectively gone, theorists speculate Garmadon might also meet a final end or transformation to keep the cosmic scales balanced. This theory adds a layer of poignancy. The two brothers whose stories began together would also end together. Another widespread theory revolves around Wu's powers or role being passed on to a new generation. Some fans noticed peculiar things in Dragon's Rising, such as a new character Aren being able to perform spinjitzu without formal training, producing a golden energy similar to Wu's creation energy. This led to speculation that Wu might have imbued Aren, or another young ninja, with his power or essence as he transcended. While not explicitly confirmed on-screen, fans find thematic resonance in this. Wu has always been about teaching the next generation, and what greater final lesson than to empower them to stand on their own? A dramatic theory that floated around before the recent episodes was that Wu might eventually ascend to take his father's place, essentially becoming a new first spinjitzu master figure. In Ninjago lore, the FSM became one with the realms when he passed, his spirit occasionally guiding the ninja. Fans imagine that Wu could similarly transcend. Intriguingly, the actual story of the merge and Wu's spirit form has aspects of this theory. While he hasn't literally become the first spinjitzu master, he has followed in his father's footsteps in a spiritual sense. A segment of the fandom holds out hope that Wu might return in physical form down the line. The theories here vary. Perhaps the four golden orbs Wu's spirit split into will reunite and reconstitute him once the realms are fully stable. Or maybe Wu will be reborn in Ninjago's future. While these ideas are more wishful thinking than grounded in evidence, they show the fans' attachment to the character. It wouldn't be the first time Ninjago surprises us by bringing someone back. One fan jokingly theorized that Wu might be enjoying a well-deserved vacation in the departed realm, swapping tea stories with the ghosts of old friends, and that he'll come back only when the ninja really mess up and need a scolding. Another quipped that Wu has ascended to a higher tea level and is brewing cosmic tea somewhere, waiting for the right moment to spill it. In truth, Sensei Wu's future, be it as a lingering spirit, a legend passed on in stories, or a power within new heroes, feels like the natural progression of his journey. He has devoted his entire existence to protecting Ninjago and nurturing its protectors. Now, as the series' focus shifts to a new era, Wu's presence is felt more in principle than in person. His teachings live on in Lloyd, in the original ninja team, and even in the Society of Ninjago, which now honors the virtues he upheld. The likely scenario is that Wu will remain a guiding force, unseen but ever present, like a warm wind at the backs of the heroes pushing them toward the light. And who knows, in the realm of Ninjago, never is a word as shaky as a ninja on a training plank. Should the destiny of Ninjago demand it, the legend of Master Wu could always find a new chapter. After all, as Wu himself once said, when there is no calm outside of you, find the calm inside of you. Find your inner peace, and the outer chaos will fade. That inner peace is Wu's greatest gift to the world, and it endures. Everything we needed to know about Sensei Wu points to one profound truth. He embodied the balance he preached, from past trials that forged his character, through the present where he imparted all his wisdom, to a future where that wisdom lights the way forward. Sensei Wu remains the soul of Ninjago. His story is the history of Ninjago itself, a tapestry of courage, sacrifice, and hope. As we look to the future, we carry his legacy in every lesson learned and every act of ninja heroism. Thank you, Master Wu, for being the guiding hand in everything and teaching us that the greatest destiny one can have is to serve others. And with that, remember, there is always more to learn. Even as we say farewell to Sensei Wu's earthly adventures, his teachings endure, an eternal lesson for generations to come. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit subscribe.